Coach told me I can never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Coach told me I can never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Wine on Saturday, wine on Sunday. But Coach told me I can never miss a Monday.
Good evening. Welcome to the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show with Coach Mike. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, you can reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that's checking us out live on this Monday Night Live, streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you for checking in with us. I want to invite you all to get involved in tonight's show. You can leave myself or this week's special guest host a relevant real estate question in the comment section. And you never know, we may very well get your question answered on tonight's show. I want to give a huge shout out to the team over at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. If you're ever in the city of Houston and you want to stop by the Brooks & Davis Education and Training Center, you can do that at 2600 South Loop West, Suite 310 in Houston, Texas. Stop by, man. We would love to meet, greet, interact with you and answer any of your relevant real estate questions. Normally, on the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show, I would introduce my co-host, and he would be the co-founder of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, Mr. Michael G. Davis. But CEO Coach Mike is away on assignment this week, and it is my pleasure to host this show with a special guest co-host. You have seen this fine gentleman interviewed on the Prime Real Estate Network live podcast that we host on Thursdays. You've seen him all over social media here in the greater Houston area. And tonight, he's going to answer your questions on the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce a real estate rock star, top producer over at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. Thank him so much for sitting in with us on Monday Night Live. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Get Your Keys, A.K. Babers. How you doing, A.K.?
Good, I'm good. How you doing, man?
Out here, man, doing it, man, getting after it, man. Thank you so much for taking some time out your schedule, AK, man. I know how it is, man, moving and shaking, getting it going, man. But first things first, how has everything been going with you, the business? How is everything going in the world of Mr. Get Your Keys? Just let the audience know what's the latest and greatest with you, AK.
Man, everything's been going good, man. Still happy to be over here with Brooks & Davis and the team. You know, a lot of inspirational things going on. Man, you know, the market's been a little bit shaky, you know what I mean? But one of the things that I've learned in this business is you gotta figure out how to diversify. You know what I mean? So I throttled back a little bit, got back into the rental market, you know what I mean? I produced a new program called Rent with Ease with Mr. Get Your Keys. So we put together a strategy, a way we can kind of get people into homes a little bit faster as far as rentals, you know what I mean? Then hopefully we can work them up into buying and being a homeowner soon, you know what I mean? But the first thing is if you're stuck and you got to find a place to stay, you still got to continue to rent, right? So the market is a little bit shaky for me and the wife. We got to still eat. So rentals provide a little income, right? Provide a little stuff. So we still got our investment stuff going on, you know what I mean? We catch a deal here and there, you know, turn it into a buy and hold, try to keep some cash flow coming in, and also we've been probate, right? So probate market is something that we call kind of our passion project, right? It is a lead generation source, you know, in the long run, but for ultimately it's more of us helping our community, our culture understand more about getting your affairs together so you won't necessarily lose your house. And if you do end up losing it, you kind of have some resources, and we can put together some resources and things to figure out how can you keep it, or better yet, how can you maximize the value of it, get the most for it, right? Because maybe you got to sell it, but you don't want to sell it and make $10,000. And even if you do, we can help you understand why they're throwing these numbers out. You know, a lot of times people don't understand the numbers that goes behind purchasing the house. You know what I mean? We all understand the upkeep on the house and how that equals it. Takes away from our value of our house. Just because down the street they sold for so much, don't necessarily mean you're gonna sell for that much if you ain't did nothing since 1978 to improve your finishes. You know what I mean? So a lot of things like that, just educating. We got with a group of AARP chapter over at HCC last week. Last week we brought in the Earl Carr Institute over there at TSU. They did not a fundraiser, but a workshop on Todd. You know what Todd is?
Nah.
Transfer on death deed. So it's an instrument that you can use, and you can bypass. Your house can bypass foreclosure. Not foreclosure. I'm sorry. Your house can bypass probate. So you don't necessarily have to go to that stuff. So you put it down now. You put down your descendants. Something happens to you. You go take the death certificate up there to the courthouse, and it's yours because it's already set in paperwork, right? So that's one less thing that you got to worry about. Then we had maybe 60 seniors up there that came up to participate. So it's been real good, and been setting appointments, and we've been talking with people, trying to point them in the right direction to some of our referral partners and getting them the answers that they need, because right now, this is the baby boomers are the largest holders of real estate.
Yes.
And they all about to start, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, I hate to say, you know what I mean? We've been seeing a lot of death. I don't know, maybe that's just an industry I'm in now, but around me, I've been seeing a lot of parental deaths, right? A lot of family members, parents, family members are deceased. So we just got to be more mindful of what we're doing, and we got to do it sooner than later.
You know, I want to thank you so much for being the guest co-host with us this week, AK, because the great thing about this platform, with it being a Monday night show, we're able to answer questions that real estate professionals have right after the weekend. Yeah. So right after they've been doing buyer tours or open houses or listing presentation, they get to come here to Monday Night Live and submit their question to experts like yourself. So thank you so much, AK, for sitting in with us. And if you're ready, sir, I'd like to present question number 1 from our audience.
All right, let's get it, man. Let's get it.
Let's go.
What we got?
Mr. Get Your Cheese. How can I build relationships with local business owners to drive referrals?
Man, relationships rule the nation, right? Come on, that's all it is. You know, get out there, you talk a little bit, but you have to have some strategy about it, right? So let's just talk about the basics. The basic is me. Now, you know, I'm a big community member, activist, or organizer in my community down here at 288 in the Beltway. So I kind of know a lot of people. And I try to use those connections if it's no more than at the corner store with the smoke shop, or it's the liquor store, or it's the gun range, shooting range that we got around here, to try to build like little events and try to have things that doesn't necessarily sell, right? You just want to bring value. Like, people don't know that. They know it's a gun range down the street, but they ain't never went because they probably think it's expensive. You know what I mean? So in my little flyer or my email, I put out the price, and I put out as a special. And next thing you know, you got 5 or 6 people pull up that ain't never been there before. So, but ultimately, you want to lead with value. You want to lead with value to that business owner. So instead of going in there with business cards, like you say, let's make a strategic. Put it this way: I have a concierge package, and I would like for you to be a part of my concierge package. And I give that to all of my buyers and our sellers that move into the area. Your name will be on there. You know what I mean? That's basic stuff, right? But and I think anybody can do that. Anybody can leverage these relationships. Anybody can go in there and open their mouth. But I think more tactical for us as agents, we just can't be shooting at every corner, everything on the corner. We got to figure out, is our buyer in there? Seller in there, right? So that goes back down to niching down, right? Figuring out who is your buyer. So what type of buyer can afford a $500,000 house?
Normally, you know, professional, executive level, managerial level, or somebody who's already owned a home and they move up property.
So you know that already, and you know they got a certain salary range. Now ask yourself, where do those people hang out at?
Right.
Where? I'm asking where.
Oh, well, especially, wine bars, weekend, Sunday brunch areas, that type of thing. So
Mhm.
that's the good part about being able to share these ideas, AK, because with your experience, some of the things that seem kind of basic, meaning being able to go into these area businesses and introduce yourself and let them know that you do have a concierge service and they could be involved. Do they have, if it's a dry cleaners, do they have any coupons?
Mhm.
Or if it's a corner store, do they have anything that invites new clients in,
Mhm.
become a part of your package, and now you're introducing new people to the community, to
Yeah.
stores and businesses that they may not have necessarily known about beforehand.
Yeah.
So,
And this,
okay, who enlightened you as far as taking that route, or is that an experience you brought from marketing in another life before you actually got into real estate and entrepreneurship?
man, I would hate to say it. No shame to Mike, but I met her before I met Mike. It was my former broker, Janelle Compton. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Everybody, you know what I mean? When I coach, I always tell people, don't just come to my class, come to multiple people class, because everybody teaches different and they have different value to bring in different lights in different ways. One thing that she taught was like how to take this thing as a business, right? How to really like sit down and strategize what you're going to do, who you're shooting at, you know what I mean? And not just be out here shotgunning in the wind, because as you know, in real estate, you get tired doing that and you can't last in a while. That's why this career, a lot of people don't last, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's hard. Hell, I could say a lot of things, but hell, I got to hype myself up every day too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But you got to get out there and you got to figure it out. So I would say I would have to tell that. I would say that was Janelle Compton. She the one kind of said, "All right, well, AK, you like craft beer. Everybody know you for craft beer. Why don't you go hang out?" Well, I wouldn't even give it all to Janelle. I'll give it to Samantha, my wife, as well. You know, um, let's go to these craft beers and let's go set up networking events on a monthly basis, right? And then just go sit in there and pop up your sign. You're gonna be in there drinking anyway. That's what my wife told me.
No, that's great advice, and I hope the members of our audience who are tuning in live have pen, paper, or the note section in their phone and can write down these tidbits, because these are the things that when you hear an interview like this, it'll set a light bulb off. And I want people in our audience to be able to put that into action.
Well, let me give you another one I was thinking about as we was talking.
Mhm.
With that relationship with those people, you know, you have a lot of automation and go high level and things like that that we can use now. That's a whole lot more advanced than those regular clunky CRMs that we used to use, right? So
Mhm.
you can almost automate a system where you giving this guy referrals and they giving referrals back, and you sending stuff out to his clients and he's sending stuff out to your clients. You know what I mean? Like you could add value of your automation to his business. He'd be like, oh, so you're gonna go out there and market for me for free through your automated newsletters and through your automated emails, you know what I mean? So that's value to him, you know what I mean? He's not doing that.
Absolutely, man. And like he said, these are things that you've learned through some top producing brokers,
Mm-hmm.
business owners that have been highly successful, and they've imparted this wisdom upon you and you put it into practice. So I urge everyone in the audience to take this advice and just pick a local business tomorrow, walk
Mm-hmm.
in, introduce yourself, and ask if they partner as far as marketing with real estate professionals, and then just start establishing a relationship from there. Man, I really do appreciate that advice,
Yeah,
AK.
yeah,
And I'm sure that's something that everybody in the Monday Night Live audience can put into practice and use to be successful.
yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm glad.
We have a second question for you, AK. So if you're ready, brother, let me see what
Mm-hmm.
they have as far as question number 2 from the audience.
Okay.
Mr. Get Your Keys, how do you structure partnerships with loan officers, title companies, and other industry partners? And AK, I'm
Yes,
going to
sir.
help the audience out a little bit. I think what they mean is, as a real estate professional, how can you gauge if a partnership is mutually beneficial? What are you looking for from your partners as far as lenders,
Mm.
inspectors, and title companies? What can you do and what have they added to your business to
Mhm.
make it a valuable relationship? And what is it that you add to their business to make it valuable on both sides?
So it's kind of the same thing, right? That you're doing with these local businesses. It's partnership, right? With an industry partner, right? I expect a lot more, right? I expect for us to co-brand that business. I may not ask him for some dollars, you know what I mean? I may just ask him for some coupons or whatever, you know what I mean? But as far as this, I'm asking you to be a part of my team. You know what I mean? I got a saying I used to say, close with heat.
Right.
Heat is honesty, ethical, accountable, and transparent.
Mm.
You know what I mean? If you got those four things, you can rock with my team, right? So that means that we in this thing together. That means when I get a deal, I'm passing it on to my lender. When he get done, I'm passing it on to the title company, then the lender, and then the inspector. We all know each other. You know what I mean? It's gonna kind of be one of those B&I meetings or whatever, where everybody refers stuff back and forth to each other. It's gonna be that type of thing. It's gonna be assembly line. Everybody gonna know what's going on. Like I say, in today's level automation, that's just a click of a button, and all four or five people know where we are in the process and know that this person is getting ready to come your way. You know what I mean? And bam, now we working together as a team, and nobody got to guess anything no more. It's almost like they're part of my workflow. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's no reason to. I don't know. We got a lot of lenders. We got a lot of title companies, and we got a lot of everybody's fighting for your business. Everybody trying to get you drunk and trying to feed you and trying to take you out for lunch and everything else, right? But you only can really work with one person at a time, right? Well, one person per transaction. You may can work with several transactions with one person. But ultimately, you got to start staying with one person long enough to create a relationship. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when we do a construction job or a flip or something. I don't like this contract at first, and he didn't do what I tell him to do, but I got to give him another kind of second chance because he didn't know and I didn't know, but we got to learn how to kind of communicate together. You know what I mean? And after we have a falling out or two and we come together as men, then we probably say, okay, I know how you work, and I know how I work, and now we can work together. And if you're just bouncing around from lender to lender to lender because somebody took you out to lunch, then you're not providing a service of transparency and trust and all those other things that I was talking about to your client.
Lead generation.
Sorry about that.
Daily review.
To your client. You know what I mean? That's your ultimate responsibility to your client. So the better relationship you got with your partners, all of, then the better experience that your clients can have. It's all about client experience.
Now, you mentioned earlier about your monthly networking events. So let's tie that in with everything you're talking about as far as your partnership with the professional collaborators like your loan officer and your title companies. Are these the people that you're reaching out to organize and help to co-brand and to add value to these type of networking events that you do on a monthly basis? And how does that communication work from your side, AK?
Okay. Yes, that's the ultimate goal. You know what I mean? So I'm all about showing you value first. So as we build our events up and we get more and more people there, then I want to start asking for money and asking for contributions to set this up. But for right now, the contributions is coming from the brewery, right? He'll give me a discount on the brewery. He'll give me a corner to set up, and I could sit there and Edo. You know what I mean? People come through Edo that's written that need to be buying a house pretty soon. So it's those type of things. But yes, ultimately, I want to come to you and I want to say, look, man, you see, I have this automated system, this round robin system that we got that for this client experience. You see that we're throwing out referrals every time we get through this here. Now this is going to be a subscription-based program. You know what I mean? Now this is a $200 a year, $300 a year to fill my marketing budget, right?
Right.
So now I want them fighting and clamoring to be a part of my circle.
No, that is perfect, man. Thank you so much, because I like, especially when I have someone with your type of experience on the show, I like to tie together how all your methods and processes all make up your marketing machine that is to get your keys. Because to your point earlier, you're not just shooting buckshot out there. Yeah. You're really intentional with a laser focus on how this mechanism can work hand in hand with this mechanism and all lead to leads, clients, closings, and financial success. So thank you so much for tying that all together for our audience, AK.
And you know what it really is, man? It's really about doing this because you love it. You know how they say if you do it, it's not a job. You know what I mean? If you love it, it's not a job. I think a lot of times we get out here and I won't say date, but us as agents get out here and do it for the clout. And you can see that because you can see it in their technical knowledge of the market, right? They don't really know what's going on in the market. They got the gift of gab and they got some cool ass social media stuff. But when you get down in the weeds, they can't tell you why this went that way and why nobody ain't buying right now. You know what I mean? People want to know that. People want to know when we come out of this financial fuzz that we in right now, that I know that somebody's going to be able to guide me financially in the right way. So I say my tip to everybody is to be a student of the game. Be a you know what I mean? This is science. This is not no play. You playing with a lot of people money, and you got a lot of influence on a lot of things, not just people. You know what I mean?
Nah, man, and I thank you so much, man. I'm sure when Coach Mike checks out tonight's episode, he gonna be more than pleasantly surprised on how much value you've not only brought to the show, but how you've been so transparent and showing some of the secret sauce. Because I know for someone like yourself, we have to be intentional on what we share as a business practice, and we try to share it with those of like mind.
Yes.
So thank you so much for sitting in on the Monday Night Live Real Estate Calling Show, because our audience is just like you and myself, real estate pros out here getting after it, man, trying to add and close that generational wealth gap and help the members of our community who need this type of education and mentorship to have somebody reputable to get it from. So, AK, I want to ask you before we close out tonight's show, for the members of our audience that have not had the opportunity to meet, greet, and interact with Mr. Get Your Keys in person before, are there going to be any opportunities in the near future where you, wife, will be making any networking appearances or showing up in the city where we can invite the members of our audience to come out, shake hands, and actually interact with Mr. Get Your Keys?
Man, I wish I could remember exactly where we at and on which week, but that's what she does.
Okay, share your social media handles with us, AK, so we can tap in and follow you online.
But no, we got a couple things coming up, man. We're still pushing the follow us on social media. Facebook is AK Babers or Mr. Get Your Keys, and you can find me that same handle on everything. And everything's orange. So if you look on that, all orange. You look on the MLS, I'm the only AK in the MLS, so I'm easy to find. I'm not hard to find at all. But we do have a lot of things coming up in the probate area. We do a workshop called "What Are You Going to Do with Big Mama's House?" So we talk to our generation, the 40s and the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, and say, "Look, man, we got to start having this discussion." So we do a lot of those. So you guys be on the lookout for those. We're doing those Todd workshops again. Now that I got this new Go High level system, you probably see me in your text message by any means necessary. I might just be dropping in your text message, so I'll be everywhere, man. You can find me all types of places. We're at 288. I want to be the king of 288. I want to paint 288 orange. So y'all help me do that.
You know, man, once again, man, thank you so much, AK, man. I know how busy you are, especially on Monday evenings. But this has been a great show. You shared some of the insider tips from the expert, Mr. AK Babers. So I hope everyone in the audience has not only heard this interview, but are actually taking some of your gems, putting them in their tool belt, and actually putting them into practice.
Yeah, let's do it again one day, man.
Oh, no, you know what it is, man. You know you always got to see with us, bro. Thank you so much. Hey, look, before we sign off, AK, do you have any final words for the audience? Any words of inspiration? Consider as we go out and embark on this entrepreneurial journey this week, man. What can you use to keep your fuel tank full this week, bro?
Man, well, I want to say persistence. You know what I mean? Remind yourself why you're here. Remind yourself, you don't want to do that 9 to 5 no more. That's why you started this. So let's just grind harder. Let's not be cheap. Let's pay for the systems that we need, because being cheap slows us down. You know what I mean? It's a business. Invest in your business so it will start paying you back. And manifest that shit, man. Anything you got, manifest it. You can do it.
Hey, man, thank you so much, man. I want to give a huge shout out to Mr. Michael G. Davis. He'll be back next week for the Monday Night Live Real Estate Calling Show. Once again, I want to thank my special guest co-host, Mr. A.K. Babers. Thank you so much, my guy. I am Rick Davis. You can follow me on social media at Prime Real Estate Rick. Until next Monday night at this same time, when it's absolutely time for you to check out Monday Night Live, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And until next week, everyone in our audience, please be safe and be blessed.